with great honor that I read this proclamation on behalf of all of our neighbors here in Gainesville. Whereas October 12, 1492 signifies the beginning of the colonization and oppression of indigenous peoples that forever changed their identity, languages, cosmologies, cultures, achievements, religious practices, and well-being. And whereas Indigenous Peoples Day is now recognized on the second Monday every October in an effort to acknowledge past atrocities and to begin a process of healing and reconciliation. And whereas the Gainesville area was originally inhabited by the Potano, politically and linguistically affiliated with the Timucua and other peoples of the Alachua tradition. And whereas Gainesville has an obligation to oppose systemic racism in the United States, Florida, and our own city, which perpetuates high rates of poverty, income inequality, disproportionate health, education, and social outcomes. And whereas Gainesville acknowledges and honors the first inhabitants of this land and owes them gratitude and respect for generations of exemplary, regenerative ecological stewardship from which we still benefit today for official and unofficial city business. And whereas Gainesville and Alachua County acknowledge the importance of honoring Indigenous people by affording them the right to a diverse and dignified culture of language, religion, traditions, and histories, and to endeavor to reflect those values in public information. And whereas Indigenous Peoples Day was first proposed in 1977 by a delegation of Native nations to the United Nations-sponsored International Conference on Discrimination Against Indigenous Populations in the Americas. And whereas the City of Gainesville affirms its willingness to participate in annual Indigenous Peoples Day celebrations and activities, and whereas the City of Gainesville strongly encourages Alachua County Public Schools to include the teaching of Indigenous peoples' histories. And whereas the City of Gainesville encourages other businesses, organizations, and public institutions also to recognize Indigenous Peoples Day. And whereas the City of Gainesville firmly commits to continue its efforts to promote the well-being and growth of Gainesville's Indigenous community in actions and in words. Now therefore I, Lauren Poe, by the authority vested in me as the Mayor of the City of Gainesville, do hereby proclaim October 10th, 2022 as Indigenous Peoples Day in the City of Gainesville, and invite all of our neighbors to join me in honoring America's first inhabitants and the tribal nations that continue to thrive today. I encourage everyone to celebrate and recognize the many Indigenous communities and cultures that make up our great country. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused to be affixed the official seal of the City of Gainesville, Florida, this 4th day, October 2022. I present this to you. Thank you so much.
I would like to offer then you to collect your thoughts and collect your energy here so that we can close our ceremony and offer a few words of prayer and gratitude for this wonderful day as our sister has just proclaimed. Creator, thank you for bringing us together as we come to honor the people that lived on the land, the Timucua, the Potano. And even though we're not of that heritage, our people had the same experiences. So I honor the ancestors, those that came before us. I honor all our ancestors here and everything that they went through in their lifetime so that we could be here today. And we recognize that we all need the earth, we all need the waters, we all need the fire and the air, and that we all have our heartbeat within us, giving us our life so that we might recognize the beauty of living now and being fully a human being living in this beautiful place that we call Earth. that we call home, that we call Gainesville. Thank you. Let us be the stewards of the land, the protectors of our families, the guides for our young people, and always recognize that we are related.